G'day, everybody, and welcome back to another brilliant episode. I'm pre-calling it brilliant, of Wind Against Tide. I am joined with my good friend Joseph Fernandez, always. Joey, how you doing, mate?
Good to be here, Davey. I tell you what, I am freezing here, but my spirits are warmed at the fact that we are back on the airwaves, and it is just so good to be here.
Oh, sorry that I didn't provide you a heated studio. We'll have to work on that one for you, Mr. Precious.
That's okay.
It's been a full fortnight since we've caught up, Joey. We were just discussing what's been going on in the world. Neither of us have really been fishing, but other people have. The weather's been bloody delightful.
Yeah, I've still been enjoying my swordfish glory for the last month. So, yeah, that's been nice.
Ah, yes. Have your testicles retracted yet, or are they still hanging low like you're the king of the world?
Oh, no, they're dangling like a big dog.
You must have burst into that O'Brien real estate office with so much damn swagger.
Oh, everyone was, really impressed.
Because generally it's just your boss Fabian after he's caught a big bag of whiting, I imagine. But Joey's just come in with his big sword, swinging his big sword around and
slammed it on the table. We're off to a flying start.
We're really treading a fine line there. No, but you're still in the afterglow of that achievement, Joe, and it's fantastic.
I'll never catch a fish that big again. I'll go on the record by saying that.
Why not?
It'd be pretty hard pressed to catch.
No, you definitely could. You can catch another swordfish bigger than that. You could catch a blue marlin. You could catch a giant tuna.
Yeah, I suppose the world's my oyster.
The world is your oyster. Don't. You sound like you've just kind of completed life there, and you're ready just to ease into retirement.
Yeah.
No, but
that does happen to some fishermen, though. They've just ticked all the boxes, and then they go, I've kind of conquered fishing.
It definitely happens.
They give it up.
It definitely happens.
We've talked about that before.
It's a burnout. It's a thing. We have talked about it before. When I was younger, particularly, I just thought I'd always be able to fish at the ferocity and frequency that I did. But Father Time, he catches up, Joe.
But you know what? Like fishing, it's part of our DNA. It's part of our blood. It's something that I think we'll always carry on for the rest of our lives. But I guess it's just the capacity of how often you go fishing and what you do, it changes.
It does. But you know what? I've got there's definitely some stuff I want to do in the future that I'm very excited about, but it's sort of moving on to stuff that does require a bit of planning and forethought, and probably have to wait for things to settle down a little bit, given that I've got a 3-week-old baby at home, Joey, so there won't be too much globetrotting at the moment.
How's he going, by the way?
He's good, mate. He's really good. He's we're a bit sleep deprived, but you absolutely expect that with a newborn. I'm back at work, so we're getting into the groove of things. But no, it's nice to come home to that young fellow and Sammy, my 2-year-old. So the second I walk in that door, it's absolute mayhem.
Just to contrast it, when I came and visited you and your beautiful wife Maddie last week, she looked at me and she said, "Oh, Joe, how are you? How are you just like so full of energy?" I said, I slept in like a pig until 10 a.m.
She was like, "How do you fit everything into your busy schedule?" And you're like, "Well, I just sleep in like a pig."
I slept into like a pig until 10 a.m. Then
Like,
I was like at your house at 11 a.m. and just like, that's why.
It's like, yes, no, that does make a lot of sense when you put it that way. I only hope that you feel my same pain one day, Joe.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that one.
Don't worry, we'll make it happen. We had a big omission last week. We got in quite a lot of trouble because we forgot to mention an actual epic catcher that really should have been our King Kong Donkey Kong catch of the week. Good mates Shane and Kim, they went down to Portland and they've been on a mission for a good, I reckon. So the first barrels that we sort of hooked and lost on stick baits, that was back in 2013. Shane and Kim have pretty much since that moment still been trying to get the job done. We've all got a little bit distracted and caught them other ways and somehow never really finished that job. But Shane and Kim remain very focused. They kept... So say there was a really good tuna bite and everyone was out there trolling. Kim and Shane would go out and just cast, and they didn't have the success rate that they might have had doing other options, and they knew that was going to be the case, but they just wanted to achieve that one goal. So all these years later, Joey.
And it's a world famous thing, casting topwater for big barrel tuna. There's people that do it in America and Japan, and that's their single focus of their fishing goals, to travel the world and try to target these fish on top water. So for Shane and Kim to be able to go and find a place in Victoria, or to go at the right time, because you've got to have a lot of things going right for you for a topwater barrel bite, don't you, Dave?
Well, I absolutely think that it can be a very effective method. It's just really a matter of getting your timing right and actually persisting like these guys have. I mean, it's so easy to go out there and get sidetracked trolling or dropping baits or whatever. But if you're doing it as your primary focus and not just as an afterthought, I actually do think that it could be a really effective method, just not that many people are sticking with it. So according to the boys, they pretty much cruised out of the harbour, and the fish at this point were extremely close to Portland, probably closer than they've been in a long time, Joe. They were actually between Lawrence Rock and the boat ramp, which is nearly unheard of for these big fish. So they had probably about a 5K run from the ramp, which is, that's sensational.
Yeah, they were hooked up it was quite early in the morning from we were getting the messages.
Well, it wasn't even a particularly good bite that day. I think there was quite a few boats out and not many caught, so it could have made the difference. But I'm told that the guys saw a workup of dolphins, so the fish weren't busting. Kim put a cast in, and big explosion, and they were hooked up, and a few minutes went by of them second guessing, and then the telltale tuna tail beats started to come through the line, and they knew that they were actually on a tuna, because I think they'd had some concern they'd foul hooked a dolphin or a seal. But
yeah, I think Shane said, like, that's not a dolphin, or someone cried out that it was a dolphin.
Yeah, no, it was a big bad Barry, Joey. So no, massive congratulations to those guys, and I think they had quite a long battle with this fish. The lure, I believe, was a CB1. Could be wrong. Kim did tell me, but that was a few weeks ago now.
Just up on your screen now, but yeah, that looks like a big dirty pilchard.
Yeah, a bit of a pilchard imitation / whatever normal bait representation, and got the job done. And it looks from that photo like it was foul hooked, but they've actually put that lure there for the photo. It was, I'm told, hooked right in the corner of the jaw with a single hook, so they definitely would have got a good scrap out of that one.
Man, that would have been a lot of fun. That's a huge congrats to Kim and Shane.
It's definitely motivated me to give it more of a crack than we probably normally do, Joe. So we probably need to get our casting gear sorted and put a little bit more effort into it.
Well, the barrels are going to probably be here soon. If not mistaken, they're already starting to show up.
I'd be very confident that there's probably some big fish cruising through already, Joe. And I think as the moon keeps growing and we come up to that full moon, I think that's when you'll probably see the first ones coming in to be weighed. So there was reports of whales coming past Phillip Island just the other day, in fact.
Oh.
First whale spottings. So generally when we see them coming through, that's when you can sort of get out and start looking for the big fish, Joe.
Oh, it's exciting. I can't wait.
It should be good. Hopefully I'll have my boat back by then.
How is your boat going, by the way?
Well, she's off getting a full refit, as we've probably already mentioned. So we're waiting for a couple of little custom items to come in before it can get finished off. But
what do you mean by full refit?
All the wires been stripped out. It's getting a rewire, Joe, because that was getting a bit long in the tooth, and there was a bit of a bird's nest back there. So easiest way to do it and make the boat functional and safe is to just redo it all.
Yep.
So the guys are doing a fantastic job of that, and that'll be all nice and neat. And then, there's a couple of other little items that are hopefully going to go on. And I think we'll do a little bit of a video to show off the boat once she's back, Joe.
Yeah, I'd love that. I miss Extreme. I enjoy fishing on that boat. It's a very, very nice vessel to fish out of.
But it'll be even better when we get it back, my friend. And
Awesome.
then we'll be straight into some of the really good fishing that's been going on lately.
Yeah.
You haven't been out. I heard your old boy did get out for a fish, Joe. How did he go?
Yeah, he did. He went fishing actually down at Tooradin, and it was a huge tide down at Tooradin. It was a 3.3 metre tide, Dave. So have you ever been to Warneet or Tooradin on a big tide?
Well, Joe, I used to live in Warneet, and I know for sure that it's not a low tide ramp. So I can imagine with a large tide like that, absolutely no good.
Yeah, well, just right up on your screen now is what was this is what my father saw at Tooradin, and have a look at that. Like there is just no water there.
Yep.
Absolutely no water. But sadly, the ramp there, the water had been completely drained out, and there's a concrete ramp. But at the end of the concrete ramp, it can't be concrete forever.
That's a good point.
Can't be concrete forever. At some point, the concrete has to stop. And what happens is sometimes when the tide's out all the way, people feel that they have to drive their boat and car and trailer off the edge of the concrete to make sure that
they misjudged.
Well,
or you think that they can just drive into the mud?
No, they just want to get the boat into the water because if it's on land, they can't push it off, right?
No, that's true.
But anyways, this poor gentleman, he's gone off the edge of the concrete ramp and he hasn't been able to retrieve his trailer. And have a look at that, what's happened. So the tide's already started to come in this point, but my dad, who was down at the ramp, said the guy had reversed the trailer off the end of the concrete ramp, and he couldn't actually get that axle back over the 3-foot concrete drop at the end of the ramp.
What, and the tide came in over his car?
Well, the car was stuck. They couldn't get it.
Yeah, but so he must have, but surely he didn't reverse down that far initially. He must have got stuck there and couldn't get up again.
Yeah, well, this is it's trying to get towed out. There's no bueno, my friend.
That's no fun. I have watched one car go in the water at Stony before, and it's not a good time for anyone. I think there was also one at Werribee during the week, Joe, where a Land Cruiser went in the water and it actually got towed out by another fisho.
Oh, wow.
But,
it happens pretty regularly, doesn't it?
It does. It's once those cars get submerged with salt water, they're pretty much I imagine they're a complete write-off. So it's not really what you want to happen. And I always have that bit of a fear in the back of my mind every time I park the car on that ramp incline, and then you hop out and you're undoing the winch of the boat, and you're like, "Ooh, did the car just roll?" Like it gives you a bit of a freak out because, it definitely does happen quite often, and it's
a snap second, especially on that incline. You're right.
And once it starts rolling, there's not really a lot you can do, especially if it's a slippery ramp. Because I've definitely had it before at like Portland on a low tide. That ramp gets pretty slippery too, and I had the car slide back a little bit. And
even with the brake on, can it slide?
Yeah. Because it's just slime. The ramp's just slime. Like, you know how on a low tide, how hard it is to stand on a ramp sometimes?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes your car's there's no traction there.
I didn't think the car slip on slime. That's full on.
Oh, yeah. There you go. There's a new fear for you.
Right.
But luckily you don't have a car to put in the water.
Well,
you don't have a tow vehicle. That's probably on purpose.
No, man, that's not good at all. Yeah.
So your dad did go fishing. We said we weren't going to dump him in it, so we'll be quite vague. He went whiting fishing, Joe?
Yeah, he did. Went whiting fishing.
How many whiting did he catch?
10.
10 whiting?
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say he got slightly confused with a particular no fishing marine park boundary. Slightly.
Well, yeah, there's a particular fork in a particular channel which he was in, and he was a little bit on the inside of it.
And but luckily he was able to keep his fish for dinner.
Yep. No, but a fisheries officer come over on the jet ski, and apparently the fisheries they went through the safety gear and the fish. They allowed him to keep the fish, but look, unbeknownst to him, thought he was just inside the within the realms, but yeah, he wasn't.
Harsh lesson for the old boy.
Yep. So that's it there. That's where he was.
So we really are dumping him in it.
Yep. That's a no take zone. He was right. Yeah. That's it there.
No, he's in there. He's definitely in there.
I think Fabian, my boss, said he might as well have been having a pie at the French Island Bakery. He was so far in. I go, that's probably a bit cranked up.
Look, we all make mistakes. And, the life jacket thing, not ideal either.
Look, Dad was really good about it. No, he had a life jacket on there, but it wasn't the correct type of life jacket. Dad said it was actually a
PFD2.
good lesson.
What's the difference? I have tried to tell you that before, Joe.
Yeah,
those vest ones you got in your boat, they're a PFD2. You need to have PFD1 when operating in Western Port or offshore in bays. So PFD2, I'm pretty sure you're all right with inland waterways, but you need a PFD1 for bays and oceans. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, he got his whiting fillet, so that's all that matters.
He did. He said the fisheries guy already had like a box of whiting.
What, that he'd confiscated?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely. He had already had, like, he was fully loaded with confiscated fish.
You're kidding me.
So, yeah, it must happen all the time. Yeah. Look, we're law-abiding citizens. And our dad was just like, hey, that's a mistake. Have to wear it. Like, that's it.
And he was probably like, you keep them. I've got enough to eat. I mean, I've confiscated enough.
I said, what did you do after? And he's like, no, we just went in. I couldn't, the fun of it had been taken out. I said, no way. I would have kept fishing. Like,
they can't get you twice. You may as well stay. There'd have been some good illegal fishing going on.
I felt bad for him, because he's.
No, it's never fun.
Oh, he's retired now. He just wants to enjoy his fishing, and our schedules don't always line up. I enjoy going fishing with my father. He got me into it, and we got a very special bond, and we enjoy going fishing together. But our boat needs to get used that we're part owners in, and So, anyways,
that's all right.
Hopefully it's a lesson.
Look, it's not like he was purposely being illegal, and it's a slight misjudgment. So we'll let him off on that one, and it's worth talking about because it's a good life lesson for everyone.
Well, it is. He says he pitched the anchor and then he let the rope out, and he was inside that boundary. So and the thing was, there was actually a lot of weed on that particular day, being a 3.3 metre time, so he had to do a lot of moves. So he's done a whole bunch of little moves, and then, Bob's your uncle. That's where he wound up.
Now, Joey, you've accomplished your big swordfish. What's your next big trip that you want to achieve? Because you were talking about it just the other day. You thought you might pop over on the plane again, and there was another target species you had in mind.
Oh, yeah. I would look, Eagle Hawk Neck in Tassie, it's just some of the most beautiful scenery that you've ever seen. If you haven't already checked out our latest swordfish video, there was some fantastic drone footage of Eagle Hawk Neck, but I'd actually love to go back down there and experience barrels, because prior to going down for the swordfish trip, the last two trips actually were for barrels and trolling around the Hippolyte Rock, and the last two times that I went down there, it wasn't happening, but you guys used to go to the Hippolyte all the time, and I've seen you guys catch many fish there, but I'd love to go and experience that. I think it would be great.
It actually came up in one of those Facebook memories just a couple of days ago. My first barrel down there at Eagle Hawk Neck, and it was a 93.2 kilo from memory.
I remember you were as sick as a dog, right? You had some kind of fever.
I had like a cold thing, probably early COVID, to be honest, back in 2013. We went down there. We had the bar crusher. That was a casting trip. We actually lost 2 on stick baits that trip. And then we were just the next morning that we were trolling around and...
Wait, was that the Jason Taylor famous I'm losing a lot of line?
When Jason Taylor got spooled on a Stella 20,000, yes. And
famous moment.
It was. And Luke Worster was there also. He got a bite and lost one. But the next morning they weren't busting up, so there wasn't really much to cast at, so we were just kind of trolling around waiting for him to come up again. And we had lures out, and rod took off, so I got to wind that in. Only problem is, Joe, friggin' probably rounded in for about 18 minutes, and then those damn seals that live down there grabbed it, and that was all she wrote. So Didn't really get a proper fight, which I think it's a real problem down there. It's kind of really tarnished the barrel fishing because a good probably 80% of the fish come up. So you hook them up, they do their first run, and the fight is very short lived, and then the seals kind of grab them by the throat, and usually you can get them back off the seal, but it's a much shorter fight. So when you said you wanted to go down there and experience that, I was like, fantastic place to fish, great scenery. You don't have to go far from the ramp.
Yeah, it's a lot of positives.
All that.
An hour on the plane, only an hour to the ramp.
But you are not experiencing the true power of the fish, unfortunately. But given that you have already caught several tuna without seal interactions here, maybe it is a good thing for you to mix it up and go down there and do that.
Has there ever been seals at Portland taking barrels?
There's been the very odd one hit by seals, but
it's quite often when you've hooked up on barrels, you do see seals swimming around.
Yeah, they haven't really worked it out down our way, but there's been a couple, but not. Yeah, it's certainly not what it's like down there. Down there, they're just ferocious. They just know exactly what they're doing, and they kill and sometimes take those big fish. They definitely take the smaller fish, but it makes tag and releasing or anything like that down there very difficult.
Is there ways of wardening off the seals?
Oh, you can shoot them. You can definitely do that. I mean, you'll probably get arrested, but you can do it.
Yeah.
No, what are you thinking, Joe?
I don't know. I just
Have you got
thought
a seal deterrent?
No, I just wondered if there was some methods to wardening them off without
what you could do is
probably harming the animal.
You could probably dress up as a killer whale, and once you hook up, just jump in the water and flail around like you're gonna eat the seals, and that might frighten them off for long enough.
Oh, great!
You asked for solutions. I'm giving you solutions here.
I like that. That's good.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
Or it could be maybe paint, like some body paint.
Maybe we could paint the boat to look like a killer whale.
Yes.
That would probably scare the tuna off too, though.
Oh, no, that's no good.
No, but I'm very much looking forward to those fish coming back.
You got to come next time. You got to come to Tassie.
No, I will. It was a bit hard. I was literally in there birthing my son.
Yeah, I know.
That was the day.
I'm still not too sure what a top shot looks like in the birthing suite, but yeah.
Yeah, it's you can't unsee it, that's for sure. Anyway, we're comparing barrel fishing in Tas with Victoria. So the only other place I would mention is New South Wales, Joe. Different again.
Obviously, it is. Absolutely, yeah.
Obviously, very different experience. You're running a very long way out to sea generally.
When they were going off at the Bermagui that time in that amazing winter bite, I'm going to say around 2015, 2016, it was like 80 k's out. It was the second drop-off, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty common for them to be quite wide there.
Cubing more so than trolling.
Cubing. You don't really get a lot of big animal, bird workups and stuff. You do occasionally, but generally it's kind of blind trolling on using the charts primarily.
I tell you what I loved about that bite though, like catching hand over fist 40 to 50 kilo tuna, like that would be a hell of a lot of fun.
Oh, it definitely is. But I don't know, I've done it quite a few times and it is very enjoyable, but I don't think anything can compare to the fishery, the wildlife you experience in Victoria and Tasmania, like the bird workups and the dolphins and whales and seals. I think it's a lot more immersive. You're really hunting the fish visually.
Yeah, it is. It's really inshore barrel fishing. Like I know it's offshore, but it's closer too.
Oh no, it is. It's very close in.
Yeah,
you're right along There's been fish at Portland the last few weeks getting caught in 7 meters. If you want to have a look at a cool video, go on Sharkman Fishing Charter's socials, and they hooked up in 7 meters just the other day.
7.
Like literally, they were like
about 15.
Literally, they were like, "Oh, we're about to run aground," and then a rod takes off.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
No fences in the ocean, they say, Joey. You know that old one?
No, I don't. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. No fences in the ocean. You never know where fish will pop up. They don't follow the rule book.
Yep.
So, yeah, no.
What makes the boats want to run so close in? Like, are there workups in
just
close?
Following life, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Going on. Yeah. So,
well, you guys chased some school tuna back in the some summer school tuna right up against the cliffs, didn't you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. We've caught them.
Cape Patterson, right?
Probably the closest I've caught them was at Cape Shank, where we were literally about 10 meters off the rocks.
Wow.
Like they were really on the rock. Yeah, and they were quite solid fish, up to sort of 25 kilo as well that day. So no, they will go wherever the food is. So never be afraid to sort of go in close. In fact, there were some photos getting around just the other day down there at Eagle Hawk Neck of guys land-based fishing.
I saw that. Yeah. That was there was like half a dozen anglers fishing off the rocks, and I asked Joan, I go, what are they fishing for? And he goes, oh, probably tuna.
I'd love to know how that how they went, because that would be bloody epic if someone got a big tuna off the rocks. I know a couple of people have tried it before, but that would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I was going to cover this maybe in the hookup, but we'll talk about it a little bit now, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
As we mentioned, there's been some really good weather windows, which means guys have been going out sword fishing, both down there in Tassie and eastern Victoria. But one particular capture probably got more public attention than any other of late, and it wasn't actually a swordfish.
Yeah, it did. That's right.
It was a massive thresher shark. Big eye thresher shark, sorry. I was looking for the word. So have a look here on... I've got it up here actually, Joe, on the socials, because there's a bit of a story there.
Yes.
Actually, we'll go to your one, and then I'll read the story. So almost a world record. This is on the Always Angling Terralgan Facebook page if you want to have a read. Badger and Jace set out from Lake's entrance to chase a swordfish yesterday, but the lads didn't know that they were soon going to be hooked up to a genuine sea monster. After a bit of a drift, one of the rods buckled and Jace harnessed up to what was going to be a 5-hour fight on 37. How would you have been after 5 hours the other day, Joe?
Oh, I was absolutely cooked at 2.5 hours.
And that was on a Tiagra 50 wide, and that was a big mission for just the two of them. After a back-breaking fight, the lads couldn't believe what they saw, a giant big eye thresher shark.
Mate, this guy's back looks like it's broken. I'm just assuming that the guy on the left, his back looks broken.
Unfortunately, during the fight, the beast had died, so the boys now had a mission on their hands to try and get it into the boat and back to shore. Luckily, another crew was close by to help. The shark later weighed at 322 kilo, and that's 20 kilos shy of a world record, Joe. So mammoth catch, and congratulations to the guy. There's 255 comments on that post, and a lot of people
getting up there.
A lot of comments sort of saying, "Oh, why did they keep it?" Or "That's such a waste," etc., etc. But as you can read there, it was actually dead when it came up. But it is an interesting one. The public certainly doesn't like seeing sharks getting hung on gantries these days, and probably fair enough, especially the really big ones, because I think some anglers have hung these big sharks in the past and still probably do, and there's not really any intention of eating them, and I think those days are well and truly gone. But
no, this is a great topic. It's then okay. Well, what's the inverse of that? Okay, shark comes up dead. You dump the carcass back into Davy Jones's locker.
Well, that's why I think that this one's quite unfounded from the big hopping heap, because the alternative was they 100% weren't targeting that shark. They were targeting a swordfish.
Yeah.
They hooked that swordfish. It came up dead. The next step is, what do? You either cut it off dead, which is, that's a waste, or you take it in and you try and eat the meat or do something with it and use it to the best of your ability. So I think that's what these guys have done. So massive shark, and that thing would have gone just as hard as a big swordfish. I mean, the tail on it's absolutely enormous.
Yeah.
So these big eye threshers, they're not like the ones that you see inshore that are caught, in this neck of the woods. They're a deep water creature. They're obviously caught as swordfish bycatch down there in 400, 500, 600 meters.
Look how thick the tail is. That's just crazy.
Massive tail on them. And I think on the very same day, it might have even been, our good mate Simon Webster actually caught and released one of these thresher sharks, Joe. So he managed to bowl one over in about an hour and a half.
Yep.
Another really big one. They seem to be really big sharks. And he was able to release his, so that was fantastic. So congratulations there, Simon. Although I'm sure he wishes it was a swordfish, it's still a really good capture.
Yeah, it is. You don't get a choice of what you hook down there when you've got 500 meters of line out and a bait.
Absolutely. No, that's part of the allure of that sort of fishing is like it's a little bit unknown. There's been like all these mini swordfish getting caught at the moment, 20, 30 kilo ones, and then there's still the absolute beasts out there. I know Richie Arbella recently lost one, which he was saying was probably close to 300 kilo. And then the same day he got one that was like 40 kilos. So once you put a bait down there, you're never guaranteed what's going to eat it.
I mentioned it on last podcast, but right next to us in Tassie on the day that I was out with Jonah, there was a 90 kilo bluefin caught on the deep drop as well. It's it's exciting. You don't know what you're going to get. It's the
lucky dip of fishing, Joey.
Lucky dip of dropping down 500 metres of line.
We haven't seen any tuna bycatch out off the rigs for a little while, actually.
No, we haven't.
I reckon that's probably not too far off because those I think the commercial fleet are starting to work down that way for the bluefin at the moment. So you might see some of them coming up on the sword baits.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's hook into the fishing reports proper, Joey, and go to the hookup. Hey! Welcome to the hookup, where we go around Australia and indeed the world for the freshest fishing reports. All righto, Joey. It's been a good weather window. There's been plenty of people out fishing. There's been quite a lot happening. It's that change of seasons into the winter cooler species. So we've got a little bit of a mix going on.
Last week was absolutely beautiful. It was like 4 days of glass calm.
Good mate Kev and other mate John Cahill they've gone stuff you cold weather and they've just gone over to Vanuatu to go fishing. So they've had a fantastic trip, Joe. I think we might even get John or Kev on the phone on a later episode to sort of walk us through that trip a little bit better and some of their other fishing.
Yep.
But Kev's been sending me through a few photos. So first up there, we've got a nice dogtooth tuna on a jig, Joe.
Oh, yeah, he's gotten jiggy with it.
Jig's...
No.
It's a pretty big jig, isn't it? Do you reckon he cheated and put bait on there like you did?
Yeah, he loves a big jig. Hey. He might have.
So nicely done there, Kevin. That's a beautiful looking dogtooth tuna.
Hey, they were very happy to do that in Mauritius. There was, I think, one jig with 3 hooks on it and we had 3 baits on it. It was sensational.
Absolute pigs. Pigs of men.
Oh,
I'm a purist, Joe. I'm a purist.
Just get the bite.
Yeah, no, that's probably fair enough too. Next one.
Good job, Kev.
Yeah, good job, Kev. Next one that Kevin sent through is a beautiful big dolphin fish.
Oh, it's a big bull. And I'm not talking about the
man holding it's a bit of a bull, and he's got himself a bull dolphin fish. So always good catching those bad boys. And then the other one that he sent through was a small blue marlin, which was his first blue marlin, Joe.
Oh yeah, it was. Where is he?
I know the guys have caught heaps of other stuff, but these are just the photos that I've had so far. So
this is from the viewfinder. Oh well, have a look at that.
There you go.
He's just freaking He's just carried it in his arms.
That's like a blue marlin, only smaller.
Yeah. Look at the colours on it. Wow.
That's good. Beautiful. Look at the man there, shirt off.
Yep.
Oof. Beautiful. So thanks for sending those ones in, Kev. Hopefully we catch up with you boys once you're back in Oz and we'll talk about it a bit more.
Another fishing friend bailed Victoria as well. Peter Ferguson fishing with Fergie. He headed up to Darwin, I believe. So, yeah, we're going to catch up with him also and we will do a better report on that next time.
Oh, where is he?
Oh, have you got something there? Are you going to give the viewers a taste test?
Oh, I'm just going to have a quick look here. So
a little browse.
Yep. Here we go. He went with Darwin. Oh, no, sorry. Barra or Blue he went with, fishing up there. So, a few photos here. If we want to flick
Queenies, Bludger Trevally.
Sharks, Trevally.
Barra.
Happy faces.
Yes.
Bending rods. Finger mark there. Plenty of sharks up that way, Joey.
Oh, that would be...
Do you know who we've actually had touch base with us just the other day? It was a Victorian ex-charter operator who has flown the coop and he's headed up there and he's now running charters out of Darwin, Joe. So he'd be a really good person to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
That's Jason Ferrugia.
Yes.
Previously of Magnet Fishing Charters.
Ah, yes, I remember that boat.
So he used to operate out of Werribee, I believe. Mm-hmm. Maybe not Werribee. over that side
That
anyway.
sounds about right.
Yeah. And now I think he's called Outback Charters or something like that, running out of Darwin, catching some really nice fish. So he's he will come on and have a chat to us at some stage. So
Yeah, nice.
no, well done there, Fergieman. Some
That's
beautiful
pretty good.
fish. Yep. I know the boys got some barra and stuff as well. Oh, here we go. Here's a little barra clip for you, Joe.
Okay. Oh, he's got it. What a catch.
There you go. Nice barra for the young fella. $1 million barra.
Yeah, I wonder if it had a tag in it.
I'd like to do a bit of barra fishing.
Would you?
Do you ever watch fishing shows and they're going barra fishing and you're just like, seriously? Because they all go barra fishing all the time. Because it must just be so fun to do.
Yeah,
But
well,
as a viewer in Melbourne, you're just like, I can't relate.
yeah, that's right. It's about the only barra that we can get in Victoria is from the supermarket shelf. Oh no, we did have a bit of barra back at that Hazelwood Pondage.
We had Hazelwood barra, but I just remember growing up and on the Saturday morning or Sunday morning, you put the fishing shows on and it's ET and Paul.
Yeah, and there's a barra and it'd just be like
Or even Rex and they're off barra fishing. And you're like,
it's a collective groan.
yeah. I think they probably knew it too, Joe. You know that? They probably knew that nobody gave a shit. But they're just like, you know what? I'm getting a free barra trip and claiming it as work.
That's true.
So, yeah, no, I would like to go barra fishing.
Okay, yeah, good.
And we'll film it and no one will care.
Maybe we'll be privileged some days.
Maybe. Hey, we've actually, a bit unrelated, but it just popped into my mind, Joey. We're at like, what made me think of it was no one cares about barra, but people care about whiting because our whiting video is going quite good on YouTube.
Oh, really?
But that also made me think, we're at 1,994 subscribers. So
Ooh.
we're so close to ticking over 2,000. It's been an absolute grind. But if you listen to our podcast, watch our podcast, enjoy our content, could you please do us a big favor? Hop over onto YouTube and hit the subscribe button. And that helps us immeasurably. It would be just nice. Getting over the mental hurdle of 2,000 would be very nice as well. So maybe jump on there and do that for us.
Yeah, that's good. How many years have we been going now? Is it 3 years?
I reckon 3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Not bad.
Yeah, no, we're going all right. But, yeah, it'd be good to get over that and hopefully kick on a little bit, Joe. My brother went out just the other day, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
He reported the whiting was slow, but they made a bit of a game changer move. They actually were still whiting fishing and Tom had enough and chucked a squid jig out on their whiting spot and proceeded to keep catching calamari. So,
oh, that's right. He absolutely hosed them, didn't he?
So Tom fishing with mate Dion, they got 12 squid in very short succession fishing on a brand new spot of theirs, which I won't expose, but it's sort of around the North Arm area, the southern North Arm area.
Mm-hmm.
And they did very well getting those 12 in quick succession. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind a bit of a squid sesh soon, Joey.
Yep. Nice.
Some swordfish baits.
Yeah, that'd be good. I haven't caught a squid in ages.
No, it would be good.
Mm.
Whiting reports. I mean, we've got your old man's whiting report.
Well, look, the turret fishing around the Turretin Channel's been good.
And I've seen quite a few other death piles on the socials, so whiting's still ticking along quite well.
Yep. Middle spit still going strong.
Port Phillip snapper going really well. Brett Reed from Reedy's Rigs, as usual, smashing them. If you want to have a look at that, just jump on his socials. The guy's super consistent on the snapper.
Yep,
He lives for it.
He's tracking them.
He's tracking them down the bay.
That's it.
They really have no hope, those poor snapper. They're just trying to escape out the bay and they're getting hounded relentlessly. Nah, he loves it and he's getting some really nice fish as well. So,
Yeah.
like proper bags of fish. So just as good as in snapper season without the boats, I suppose. So that's going on as well. The big tuna fishing, very consistent down there at both Portland and Port Mac.
Oh, it is. Good mate Rob Prenz had a barrel on and last Sunday blindly near Cape Nelson and he had it on for 3 hours, but they lost it boat side, unfortunately. But
Ooh, sounds like a big one.
Yeah, he reckons it was huge. But there has been some huge tuna. We've seen 147 kilos come through, and
There was a 165, Joe.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was a 165 caught the other day.
that's massive.
That is massive. There's been quite a few big ones. It's very good fishing. The charter boys have been getting stuck into it out of both those ports. Chris Cassar, as usual, getting quite a few.
Oh, yeah. He had a double on.
Yeah, he got a couple in the morning the other day. But the guys over there at Port Mac, they fly a little bit under the radar, Joey. They're getting multiple fish a day, don't you worry.
Yeah.
So you could set your clock to it. Big barrel tuna fishing in Victoria and South Australia. Every year it gets better and better. It's a fantastic fishery. I know we talk about it a bit, but it doesn't really get less exciting. The shine might have rubbed slightly off it because it's a bit easier than it used to be, but once you're out there doing it, the adrenaline and the excitement, it's bloody epic. I can't wait to get stuck into a little bit of it.
No, there's nothing better than watching that big gold reel just dump like 200 metres of line in it. Like that first run is just insane.
That's good. And then you're all happy, you go into the pub and you get absolutely blind.
Shit.
Swordfish, Joe, quite a few boats getting out of Cape Conarin, Lakes Entrance and Malakuta. Good spread of fish from all those locations.
Mixed sizes in there.
Very mixed sizes from 20 up to 200 and something kilo.
I think Richie Arbella said this one was from the nursery.
Yep. Richie, Mr. Consistent, he's been catching a few. The boys on Impulse, so Dimmer and Shane and Marcus were out.
Yep.
They got 2 in a day just the other day. Those guys are always on the money. We saw Billy Zane got one a couple of days ago, 150. No, I think it was a bit bigger. But anyway, he got a nice one the other day. There's plenty of others that I can't possibly remember off the top of my head, but very good sword fishing. And any swordfish is a good, well-earned swordfish in my opinion, Joe, especially running out of those ports with the distances covered.
It is. It's huge. Like really, when you think about it, you go out of Lakes Entrance. Okay, you got to travel there by car. Then you go from the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne, 3 hours. Get to Lakes Entrance, drive out to those canyons. And it's an hour and a half up and back. So that's 3 hours of travel time in the boat, which only leaves you with about what, if you're lucky, 5 or 6 hours of fishing.
Well, the hard thing about going out of there this time of year is the days are quite short.
That's what I mean.
Like, you feel like you get a few drops in and you're like, oh, crap, it's the Arvo now.
We're
running out of time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it means you got to run in and out in the dark and there's a bar crossing, so it's not really ideal. You got to be really careful about picking your weather windows when you're fishing those areas. You either do a bar crossing or you launch from this little, it's been redone, but it's still quite a crap ramp that's basically in a rock, a rocky outcrop up there at Cape Conarin.
Mm-hmm.
Or you go Malakuta, which can be quite nasty as well, with waves breaking across that bar. Well, yeah, I suppose it is a bar.
Ugh, it sounds awful.
So,
I'll stick with Tasmania.
so jumping on a nice flight there, Joey, and Jonah picking you up and driving an hour to the ramp.
And staying a night at Broadbill Cottage.
It could be quite appealing, you know what I mean? So, we'll hopefully get a trip in there soon, but very good. I love swordfish. It's hard fishing, but you really earn them, and they're just incredible creatures. So hopefully a bit of that to be done before the weather turns, Joe. We've had good weather so far, but we'll see what the rest of the season brings. Offshore fishing locally, we've seen quite a lot of gummies and school sharks getting caught as well for those putting out in the time to do that. So that's another good, consistent fishery for those who don't want to go chasing the big game fish. Provide you with brilliant food and good sport, Joe.
Yeah, it's really gummies, calamari and whiting's just been, I would say, the focus point of the last couple of weeks, and the late season snapper.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, there's good fishing going on, that's for sure. You just got to pick your days, pick your species, and use a bit of knowledge, and you can have a great time at this time of year.
Oh, there was like 18 degrees, 19 degrees last week. It was beautiful, but the cold snap is definitely here, I reckon, in the last 24 hours.
It's quite cold in this factory right now.
I reckon the cold snap has signalled barrel season is open.
Yeah, it's open. It's been open a while, let's be honest. So, yeah, that's pretty much all that's been going on in Victoria, other than some inland cod and flatty and brim fishing, which let's be honest, not really up to date with. So we're
not going to be experts on that.
Well, I've definitely seen some big cod coming out of Eildon for the guys live scoping at night there. So,
oh, cool.
Talk about being cold. Oof,
oh man,
freezing.
It would be.
But some really nice cod coming out of there, and I'm sure some of the other usual hot spots as well, Joe. But yeah, no, that's the hookup done for this week, my friend.
Yeah, beautiful. Going to steamroll into the next segment.
We now go to Peter Griffin for You Know What Really Grinds My Gears.
Thanks, Tom. You know what really grinds my gears?
All right, Joe, I haven't really been able to fish for some time now. We've had the lead up to baby where you got to stay close to home.
You actually rang me this week. You're like, Joey, what are you doing this weekend? I'm ready to fish.
Joey, I'm allowed to fish.
Yeah.
So Maddie, my beautiful wife, did say to me, if you want to go for a fish on Sunday, you should. This is probably a good opportunity because I'll be down at my parents' and, you'll be able to get out. And I was like, without even... Yeah. Now, without even looking at the weather, I go, it'll be shit. I guarantee you, the weather will be shit. Sure enough, pull up the weather app, jump on there. Yep. Saturday, Sunday, absolute crap, Joe. After all these weeks of brilliant weather, I knew it was going to happen. Haven't been able to fish, haven't had a boat, had baities coming out of everywhere. Joey's been down and caught his dream fish. Old Davey's been at home. Finally get a chance to go, and the weather turns to absolute trash. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen, and I'm sorry to everyone in advance because it's my fault.
I was looking for the sound, but I needed the disappointed.
Or the violins.
The world's
Because I'm whinging.
the world's smallest violin. And then look, I actually was available to go fishing this Sunday with you, Dave, and I said, what are the chances of going fishing? And Dave responded back to me, 0.00100001%. Because it looks absolutely terrible for Sunday's fishing.
Well, look, there's probably some sort of fishing I could force myself into doing.
Oh, no,
There's always somewhere to fish, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
But you're the tone in your voice is telling me that you just want to do nice, comfortable, good weather fishing.
Yeah. Look, let's just we're going to get back out. You're going to have Extreme back soon, and let's do some great things.
I like the sound of that, Joe.
Yeah.
So everyone keep your eyes peeled because there's big stuff coming from us.
Yes, there is.
Looking forward to it. Any other points of order, Joey? Any news, any plans, future plans going on?
Well, I was going to say, who are we ringing the bell for King Kong Donkey Kong this week?
Well, can we give it to Shane and Kim because we should have given it to them before?
I think they are absolutely worthy of it. We're gonna crown him right now. Here he is.
King Kong, Donkey Kong, mate. Look at this.
Look at it indeed. And it's by the great man Suraj. How is Suraj doing, by the
I
way?
went and visited Suraj the other day. He's happy as Larry, Joe. He showed me his scars. They cut half his body open. But you can't keep a good man down, and he's just frothing being alive still.
And his lovely wife, Priya, said to us, I think to Dave, Dave, he doesn't do anything, huff.
No, he had 3 clogged arteries, as it were. And I tried to trick her by saying, Suraj, we're going fishing this weekend. And she just looked at me like, you do that, I'll kill you. So a bit of resting for the great man. But no, he's doing well. Better than ever, Joe. Clean arteries, ready to rumble.
Yeah, that's good.
So hopefully we'll get him back out on the boat when we get that back. But no, anything else you've got for us before we wrap up for this evening?
No, that's it. We've covered it all. I'm just keen to, we need to go fishing again. But I've held the fort while you've been busy.
No, you've done well. You've represented.
I have.
You have, and it gave me something to do during my my break from work, editing up your footage. So
I did enjoy going whiting fishing with you and Fabian last time. That was excellent. Part of our fishing productions as well. Look, yeah, it's good to go fishing with 3 people. I would like to continue to do that because it's good to have someone on the camera, and then 2 people fishing.
yeah,
I definitely want to run with that system.
no, it is good. A little bit of housekeeping, I guess. Like we're sort of tinkering a bit with our format at the moment. Like we had been going live every single week, But if you notice that we're playing around a little bit, we're trying to sort of settle into what's going to work best for both me and Joe and for what you guys are going to enjoy at home. So our initial thoughts at the moment is we may mix up the way we're bringing you the podcast a little bit. So we'll discuss that a little bit more in the future. But fear not, we will keep pumping them out. We just might make some slight changes to improve the show. We will only ever do anything to improve the show, Joe.
Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty, mate.
And if it's not working, we'll ditch it pretty quickly.
The show?
No, as in the. Oh gosh, you're quick to pull the trigger. No, if it's like the way that we're going to feed out the content, if we feel it's not working, hey, we're just adaptive creatures. We're like chameleons. We'll just keep adapting until we find what works.
Well, no, the thing is with the podcast, people might not realise it actually takes quite a lot of effort to because we've got to be in the same room, we've got to broadcast it live, we've got to make sure we've got to physically be there at 8 p.m. to broadcast it. It means it's a late night.
Yep.
And I think it's fantastic that we can connect like that with people, but what we might do is like a marquee live podcast every fortnight or once a month even, and then we can pre-record some other ones. So that way that we can promote what's going to happen and we can get everyone keen and we can have a massive audience on the live podcast and have a great time, have a bit of a party. And then it just gives us time to make that the best show that it can be, because when we're rushing it week to week, sometimes it just ends up being me and Joe, which is fine. But we could probably do me and Joe as a pre-record and then put more planning into the live shows, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I've got some ideas about that, but I'll talk to you about that shortly.
Sounds exciting.
Yep.
Anyway, enough rambling. We're going to sign off for tonight, and we will catch you guys next time. Don't forget to send in any photos you may have of your fishing trips, any reports, any tips, any ideas.
We try and stay across all the social platforms, but yeah, if you want to DM us, we're always good for that also.
100% love hearing from people, and if you've got some suggestions for the show or things you'd like to see brought in, or you want to help in some way, you want to be involved, then just shoot us a message. We'd love to hear from you. But in the meantime, have a fantastic weekend on the water or doing... Well, probably not on the water because the weather sucks. Have a fantastic weekend doing whatever it is that you've got planned, and hope everyone stays safe and has a good time, including yourself there, Joey.
Yeah, hopefully stay nice and warm by the campfire.
Beautiful.
Love it. I'll see you next time, fishing friends.
Send us off.